Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Scatino, aka Scat, and today I'm going to be beginning a brand new Let's Play on one of my favourite games of all time, Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, the Director's Cut on PC. Broken Sword, like I say, is one of my favourite games of all time. It's a point and click adventure game. Absolutely amazing story, great characters, great music, great puzzles. Yeah, I believe this is a masterpiece in gaming, created by Revolution, Charles Cecil, absolute legend, you know. So we're gonna get into this Let's Play. I've been wanting to replay the game for a long time, and you know, now that I've actually been able to set my Elgato capture card up to actually record PC gameplay and audio, it's just made it a whole lot better for me, for the fact that I don't have to use fraps and have these gigantic video files and all the rest of it, you know. So we're gonna get straight into it. I'm just gonna shut up so you can listen to the story. Okay, so let's go. New game.
Paris, city of love, romance, and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too, but ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, He never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
God, what? Monsieur Garçon! He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Okie dokie, so here's where the game begins proper. Bit of a long intro, but I'm sure you'd appreciate it. For anybody who's not sort of familiar with the director's cut of Broken Sword, this whole section with Nico at the beginning was added onto the game for the director's cut. The original version of the game didn't actually include this section. It started off with the main character, with George Stobart outside the cafe when it blows up. So this little section is a nice little touch that Revolution done for the director's cut of the game. As you can see, it is a point-and-click game, adventure game. So what that basically means is you use a mouse, you interact with objects and things, you know, within the environment. You search for clues, and like I say, that's how you interact with other characters. I was first introduced to Broken Sword on the PlayStation 1. It was originally a PC game, but it was released on the PlayStation 1, as was its sequel, The Smoking Mirror. Both fantastic games, and I am hoping to do a Let's Play of the Smoking Mirror as well at some point. So, let's get started.
A bust of Pierre Cauchon, humble servant of La France.
So basically, we need to investigate the death of Pierre Cauchon.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Quite possibly. Alright, so let's investigate the body.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
You know, I've played this game like so many times, and it never gets old. Like I said, it's one of my favourite games of all time. And even though I know the story and it never changes, there's not multiple endings and this, that and the other, it's just a really great game to play through. So, first of all, we need to investigate this body.
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. Cauchon had been shot. In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now.
He's looking a bit freaky with his eyes open, so we can actually close them.
I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down. I had closed his eyes. Rigor mortis hadn't set in yet.
Make sure there's nothing else that I'm forgetting to take. No, don't think so. Let's go check on his wife.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them. She was deep in conversation. She totally ignored me. There was no one I needed to phone. Not until I had solved this case. Besides,
And
Imelda
solve
was
it we
using
shall, Nico Collard.
It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the color I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that. I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Possibly. Right, so we've got a little hole here, so we use the hair clip. So open this.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Okey-doke. See what she's got to say for herself.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Yeah, so when you interact with characters, you get like a little options about what you want to talk to them about. Different things. You can ask them about the items you've collected or different topics of conversation.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. Business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Collard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if. My editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be
I
here
do
soon
like
again.
the
Is there
writing
anybody
and the
you'd like me to
humour in
contact?
these games.
Family,
I think
friends?
they really
No.
are funny games.
I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Right, let's go.
The door was locked.
Use the key, man.
Now we were getting somewhere. The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks. Behind the picture was a safe. In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Carchon was past caring.
Okie doke. That's what we want to do. I'll come over this way.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision. My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda. I didn't want to take the tray, but
so what we need is it this one first?
the paint would have just soaked into the block.
Let's see.
No. No.
See, some of it I have forgotten.
I smeared the paint all over the
There we
cloth.
go.
When I do messy, I really like to put my heart into it. I hoped this was going to help. They don't make lace like that anymore. I wiped the paint-covered cloth over the surface of the stone cylinder. It took me right back to art class at school. And Maurice, my gorgeous art teacher. Such a shame they had to fire him. Ah well. Concentrate, Nico, concentrate.
Here we go.
Genius. The roller and the paint worked just as I planned. But what did it say? It was some kind of coded message. It read, sub judice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense.
Ah, but they do because
I
it's a
suddenly
combination.
realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law courts. So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
Let's go, Nico.
Locked. Did you find anything useful?
This carving. Do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
What does the
I need
statue
to
have
know.
to do?
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask,
Don't worry. You were never here.
sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of
Ile de
getting
la
into the
Cité.
conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
Okie doke, so the Ile de la Cité, an hour
Carchon
later.
wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
This is where we need to
The
get
cross
into.
looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Carchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track. I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
I hate this bit. This might take me a while to remember how to do this. I hate these kind of puzzles. Right, hang on. Do the stress me out. Down, down. Trying to remember how to do each one, you see. So that can't move. So already it's doing my bloody head in. Oh wait, no. Oh, there we go. No. Dum dum dum. Right. No, it can't be the way. Ah. So, right, so I need to somehow let me like reset the puzzle. Right, let's reset the puzzle. Let me see. So if we go up there, cross there, up there, down there, down there. That's not bloody right. Ah! Oh, bloody hell. Doing me bloody head in this. Hate these kind of puzzles. I really do. I think I need to move. Is that thing? I can't move that one. I need to move that one somehow. Up there, move that there, and then I need to bring these down. Bring that there, that there, that there, that there, that there. Bring that across to there. That one there, that one up there. Up there. Cross to there. There we go. Right, I think I might be getting somewhere, I think. I hope. No? Is that a no? Screwed it up again? Think so. Oh bloody hell, I was getting somewhere then. Try this one. One might be a tad bit easier. I'm close to doing that one though. It's that one that's in the bloody way. Jesus. There we go. That's that one done.
One down, one to go.
The hell only took me forever. That one was a bit easier than this one. Let me try and figure this out now. That's not gonna work. Do. Um. No, that's not right. Jesus Christ. Ah, doing me head in. So that's not right. No. So I need to move that one out of the way, but I can't move that until I need to get rid of these. And then you get yourself all in a kerfuffle with it. And it bloody hard. That ain't right, is it? For sake. Ah, right, okay. Oh, hang on. There we go. Woo!
Nothing like
Only
a good
took me about
convent
half
education
an
for
hour.
honing your lockpicking skills.
So that opens the gate. So I think I'm going to save the game and continue. Save one.